Hello people, how you guys doing today? It's Wednesday, another new day, another thankful day to be alive. Oh my goodness, so many people dying all over the place. So just be thankful to be alive, giving God your praise and glory. As we're approaching Passover, coming here, unleavened bread days here soon. I'm going to be taking a little time off to give the Lord some praise, more prayer. But I will be around, and I will be coming back to show you some updates of if anything major come up, if we are not shut down or the internet's shut down or whatever may happen. Anything can happen anytime. Look at my fair use notice. I'm going to be talking about some quick news updates. And then I'm going to go over to Bette. She have another message, urgent message out. But I'm going to be showing some quick news updates right now, people. I'm here today trying to chill out. We didn't even go out today. We're trying to get things in preparation here for the Holy Feast, and then also doing some things here. So I'm going to come here now and show some quick news updates, people, from Dave Hodges and, like I say, Bette. And going to talk about some news coming from AM TV and also from the Boo 77. So I'm just going to show these quick news links. I was just looking at the president talk here not long ago on live Washington. They was talking about a briefing. You have to tune into these things on your own if you want to hear about them. But I'm going to go ahead and show some other news right now and get over to these other people talking here for you, giving you a report of what's going on in their backyard, what's happening. We know war is coming. War is coming. I was up last night listening to some reports from Ken Roberts, I think his name, and also a report coming from Dave Hodges, and I did post it in my description box yesterday, but I don't know if you guys got to go look at it, what the military isn't telling you. And so I'm going to go ahead and play these other messengers here. But we need to be aware that war is on the making. War is at the door. As many of them are saying, as soon as they lock down all the 50 states, we could have war at our door anytime. As I showed you yesterday on my video up in Colorado Springs, Colorado, over at NORAD, a lot of the government employees are going into the bunkers over in Cheyenne Mountain. So we know something is about to go down, and when you hear Bette's report, she's thinking something is about to go down as well. So I just want you guys to be aware and keep yourself in prayer. I'm gonna go ahead and show some of my little pictures before I forget, because yesterday I had pictures at the bottom that I forgot to share with you guys. But you know, America is really, war is at the gates of America. It is at the gates, people. Nuclear war is at the gates of America. As you know, Daniel said already, the kingdom of Christ, they're going to take down all the kingdoms and nations. They're going to fall, and Yeshua's going to build his own kingdom made without hands. He's going to do his own kingdom that's going to last forever and forever. We know that they are at the gates. They are already preparing for war everywhere, preparing for war, going at people's doors, knocking, going inside, trying to test them for the coronavirus. And if they, you know, they're not going to say it's negative, they're saying it's positive. So as this brother was saying, that was talking to Dave Hodges up in Fort Collins, Colorado, they was going into some homes of the elderly people, and now they're disappearing. They don't know where they are. So we don't know, people. It's just a lot going on right now. When the trucks start coming down our highways or down our roads, I hope we can have enough faith in God to protect us, to help us say the right thing at the right time, and just trusting in Him, because I don't know from one day to the next what can happen. A lot of people going out getting ammo, getting guns. And I was reading a report, and they were saying, oh, half of the people getting guns are getting them out of fear. They don't even know how to handle a gun, know how to shoot a gun, know how to take care of a gun. So we need to be just aware of these things and knowing that Yeshua is our only protection. I'd rather call on 1,000 angels to help me in the time of trouble. And he said to call on the angels. I told you when I had the vision back in 2012, not a vision, actually. It was like I was awake. And it was like a vision, but it was a real live angel came in my room, and he was showing me he had a little notepad in his hand, like an iPad, And he was telling me that when time of trouble hit, we have to call on the mighty army of God angels to protect us in the time of trouble. And I'd rather do that than be trying to go around here protecting myself with weapons and ammo. But you know, that's your own decision what you want to do. It's your own family, and nothing wrong with defending your family. But we need to just be using our wisdom, using the wisdom Yeshua give us, protecting ourselves with the armor of God, the armor of God, the armor of God. How much more can I say that? And so just do that, and be aware of these things coming. I know jets are flying all over Israel right now, so I'm going to go and do that report right now from Israel. Boy, so much going on, people, as we're in the end at the end. Hold on a minute. Let me go ahead and play this. I'm going to mute it out, and I'll get these videos on the way here. I want to show you. Okay, hold on here.
Seven Israel News is made possible thanks to your generous donations. Shalom, good evening. This is TV7 Israel News broadcast to you from Jerusalem, and in today's top stories. Jerusalem is making every effort to combat the unrelenting spread of the coronavirus throughout the Jewish state, yet according to National Security Advisor Meir Ben-Shabbat, the director of the country's Special Corona Task Force, Israel remains in the danger zone in the battle against the contagion. Israeli aircraft allegedly launched a surprise strike against Iranian targets in Syria, bombing several installations in the war-torn country's Homs Governorate. Iranian President Hassan Rouhani declares this morning that the United States had missed a historic chance to lift sanctions on his country over the continued spread and deadly implications of the coronavirus, a statement made as part of the regime's continued propaganda campaign against the Trump administration. Jerusalem is making every effort to combat the unrelenting spread of the coronavirus throughout the Jewish state, yet according to National Security Advisor Meir Ben-Shabbat, the director of the country's Special Corona Task Force, Israel remains in the danger zone in the battle against the contagion. As of 8 o'clock this morning, 760 additional cases have been confirmed since the day prior, raising the number of afflicted Israeli individuals to 5,591. According to the official data, which was released by the Israeli Health Ministry, out of the confirmed cases, 96 Israelis are classified as critically ill. I'm sad to report that the Israeli Health Ministry also confirmed that the number of victims rose to 21 individuals who succumbed to the disease. Meanwhile, National Security Advisor Meir Ben-Shabbat warned in a cabinet briefing that a single outbreak could be enough to scuttle all efforts Israel has made to date. Therefore, Ben-Shabbat insisted that it remains imperative to maintain the nationwide restrictive measures in place. It is important to cite several domestic reports, however, which reveal the grim situation within the less adherent ultra-Orthodox communities throughout the Jewish state, as opposed to the rest of the general Israeli public. While in most Israeli cities, the number of new corona patients over the past 24 hours has increased by only 15 individuals, the remaining 745 newly afflicted were discovered in populated centers that are predominantly ultra-Orthodox, including in Bnei Brak, where the number rose by 159 cases, followed by Jerusalem, with 131 newly confirmed cases. In light of this emerging data, the interim government in Jerusalem is deliberating the possibility of imposing blockades on several of the plagued communities. And while a final decision has yet to be made, numerous police checkpoints have been placed at all entry points to those communities to deter non-residents from entering the plagued areas by means of financial fines. Now to another yet related matter. Numerous independent Christian and Jewish organizations from Hong Kong to San Francisco and elsewhere have coordinated with the Israeli Foreign Ministry the donations of tens of thousands of protective gear, including protective suits, masks, gloves, and other medical equipment, in a global effort to help the State of Israel during these times of crisis. Among the numerous welcome donations, which reflects the genuine desire of many around the world to bless Israel and its people, the Israeli consulate in the American city of Boston used a financial donation to procure 2 much-needed ventilators. Turning now to Israel's northern neighbor, where Israeli aircraft reportedly launched a surprise bombardment in Syria yesterday evening, targeting several installations in the war-torn country's Homs governorate. According to several reports, which were subsequently confirmed to TV7 by sources on the ground, the alleged Israeli strike, which originated from Lebanese airspace, targeted the Al-Shayrat military airport, where an unidentified cargo plane had just arrived from the Syrian T-4 military airbase. During the strike, which also targeted other installations in the eastern part of Homs governorate, Syria's aerial defense array was activated. A Syrian military source was quoted by the country's Sana news agency as claiming that a number of the incoming missiles were intercepted. Nevertheless, the military source stopped short of unveiling the extent of the damage caused by the strike. While the IDF spokesperson's unit did not confirm nor deny Israel's alleged responsibility for the reported strike, it is important to highlight that both the Al-Shayrat and T-4 military airports are frequently utilized by the Iranian Revolutionary Guard's elite Quds force. An Israeli intelligence official who requested to remain anonymous as he was not permitted to talk reiterated to TV7 in Jerusalem's red lines that include operational activities to thwart the Islamic Republic's ongoing efforts to entrench militarily in Israel's northern neighbor, which he emphasized will be enforced by all means necessary, regardless of any circumstantial distractions. Nevertheless, the official stopped short from confirming Israel's responsibility for the attack. Meanwhile, in the Islamic Republic, Iranian President Hassan Rouhani said this morning that the United States had missed a historic chance to lift sanctions on his country over the continued spread and deadly implications of the coronavirus. In a televised cabinet meeting, the Iranian leader was quoted as saying, "It was a real opportunity for the Americans to apologize and to lift the unjust and unfair sanctions on Iran." It is important to clarify, however, that the comments by Rouhani came in response to reports over a statement made by U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, which supposedly alluded to the possibility that Washington might consider easing sanctions that have effectively crippled the Islamic Republic's economy. Nevertheless, the referred to statement by Secretary Pompeo, which was reported by major media outlets around the world, was evidently taken out of context from the clear wording the top American diplomat made in a State Department briefing that was held yesterday.
When it comes to humanitarian assistance, medical devices, equipment, pharmaceuticals, things that people need in these difficult times, those are not sanctioned anywhere at any time that I'm aware of. When you just read that, whether it's not always an American sanction. In North Korea, there are UN Security Council resolutions. In other places, they are, in fact, American provisions. But in each of those, if you read them, it's quite on its face that these items aren't sanctioned. There's no prohibition on moving humanitarian assistance into these difficult and challenging places.
Secretary Pompeo further asserted that while the Islamic Republic, among other totalitarian regimes, accuses the United States for their domestic hardships, they continue to build bombs and missiles and nuclear capability, all the while their people are starving.
Some of these countries continue to build bombs and missiles and nuclear capability, all the while their people are starving. So when they make the claim that, boy, they just don't have the money to feed their people, these are decisions that these people, leaders, have often made, not in the best interest of those peoples. It's indeed quite sad to see those governments make those decisions which harm their own people.
Secretary Pompeo also responded to a question about a surge in attacks in Iraq by Iranian-backed militias, which are directed against U.S. installations.
So we have seen attacks on Americans, attempted efforts in some cases as well inside of Iraq conducted by Shia militias. Our response has been very consistent. Two things. One, we will always respond to protect and defend Americans, whether it's our diplomats in our embassies and consulates inside of Iraq or Department of Defense people who are serving there or civilians who are contractors. We'll always do everything we can to defend and protect them. We will respond if they are threatened. We've also made clear that in Iraq in particular, we know that those Shia militias who have attacked Americans are trained, equipped, underwritten by the regime of the Islamic Republic of Iran, and it's been President Trump's policy consistently that says that we will respond against all of those who facilitated, trained, equipped, and enabled those attacks on America. That holds as true today as it did 2 weeks, 4 weeks, or back in the beginning of January when we took a strike against Qasem Soleimani.
Thank you for watching us. I would like to take this opportunity to once again encourage all of you to join myself and the team here in Jerusalem to pray for the peace of Jerusalem, for the peace and salvation of Israel, as well as for all those who are impacted by this devastating corona contagion around the world. I'm Jonathan Hassan. Have an Erev Tov, and we will see you again tomorrow at the same time.
We have China now admitting that they fear a second wave, as their scientists are saying that it's very possible that sometime in late April they could see this all start to go into motion. Now, that's a whole month away. Right now here in America, we're seeing a lot of states make moves where they're clamping down. We're seeing checkpoints put up and stuff that we really warned about for years that could happen in this country that people wanted to ignore. Well, a lot of it is happening right before our very eyes. Unfortunately, this is the situation that we're in. I'm hoping that many people learn from this and do not let their guard down and implement a plan in life from here to deal with things like this if they come up, and to not get stuck in a tight situation like many did when they were trying to get food and others were rushing out, clearing the shelves. Now, if there's a round 2 coming out of China, and we're not even done here with round 1 or hit the climax in the United States or the peak of what we're seeing here yet, well, this could really go any which way. In my opinion, here in the United States, they dropped the ball on the testing. A lot of this almost seemed to be done on purpose. And a lack of trying to get people tested and to have those tests up front is the number one concern for me. We're still seeing a lack of it. You see headlines of this 5-minute test and this and that, but still people across the board, all over the place, trying to go get tested, and they cannot. They're being told to go home, self-quarantine, while you see the famous people on social media getting tested left and right, pretty much. So, China fearing a second wave here. They're starting to put out data, which you can barely trust as well, on asymptomatic cases, and they're shuttering all of their cinemas. Just here about a week ago, they gave the green light to open up 600 movie theaters. By the 27th, they're saying that they came back saying, nope, we need to put this in full lockdown. The Beijing Film Bureau requested this. So this is what's happening now in China, as they wanted to come out and say that everything was fine, that people were going back to work, factories restarting, and all this other stuff. Now they're saying this. This is just the latest, though. I'll continue to update as I get more information. Follow me on Twitter and also over here on DLive.
Moscow. They call it the city that never sleeps. But it's quiet now. Another capital where time has stopped. Coronavirus has put Moscow into lockdown. People ordered to stay home. But some are out. They seem confused and skeptical. I don't get it, Albina says. The authorities say the number of sick people here is low, but they tell us all to self-isolate. We just want the truth. Valeri says, I don't believe them. I just don't. All the authorities do is wag their tongues. Lockdown in another part of Russia, Chechnya. The message is clearer here. Keep off the streets. But in Moscow, officials hope the public will accept that quarantine is vital to fight the virus.
To defeat a pandemic, a government needs the trust of the people. It needs the public to believe the official information it's putting out. The problem here is that over the years, many Russians have grown skeptical about what they're being told by those in power.
This kind of thing doesn't help. Police outside Moscow announced a curfew this week when there wasn't one. Misinformation. To add to all the disinformation about COVID-19 flooding Russian TV screens. Among the conspiracy theories, that coronavirus is a US biological weapon. Biologist Igor Nikulin has made a string of claims in the Russian media, which we've checked and found to be false, including that America patented the virus before the outbreak.
А где доказательства, что американцы запатентовали коронавирус?
Возможно, он закрытый, этот патент какой-то. Есть же понятие государственной тайны.
Просто все эти домыслы и предположения, это звучит как дезинформация. Просто теория заговора.
Если теория заговора охватила миллионы людей, ну надо как-то с этим что-то делать.
But conspiracy theories cannot change the reality that a deadly virus is spreading here and that Russia is shutting down. The world's largest country, now in quarantine. Steve Rosenberg, BBC News, Moscow.
Sam, this is AMTV, Alternative Media Television, and we have a breaking report as President Trump just asserted on Twitter Wednesday that Iran was plotting a sneak attack on U.S. troops or facilities in Iraq. He tweeted this, quote, "Upon information and belief, Iran or its proxies are planning a sneak attack on U.S. troops and or assets in Iraq. If this happens, Iran will pay a very, very heavy price indeed." Now, the tweet followed the revelation that the U.S. had deployed Patriot air defense systems to an Iraqi military base as a precaution against Iran-backed militia attacks. Now, this is citing U.S. and Iraqi military sources. Now, we've known for some time, we've been going back and forth with Iran. I mean, President Trump almost went to full-blown war with Iran. Everybody in his cabinet agreed to strike except him. He backed out. John Bolton ended up leaving. John Bolton, one of the main war hawks when it comes to Iran and North Korea. Now we see President Trump pass the Defense Production Act. What better time to have a war when the economy is crashing, when millions of people are losing their jobs, than right now to go to war with Iran? You ramp up production and you pull the trigger on the Defense Act, which President Trump hasn't done necessarily yet because he doesn't want to nationalize industries. And I think that's smart. That's why the private sector came in. But at the same time, we want to keep in mind that a war is probably inevitable in order to get the economy back up and roaring again. So he could enact the Defense Act when it comes to war with Iran. Now we'll see what they're going to do. Look, there's Shia militias all throughout the Middle East. So anytime a Shia militia attacks anything, obviously the United States, the European Union always points the finger at Iran. Look what's happening with Iran, though. We know for a fact that their economy is crashing. The coronavirus pandemic is huge in that country. People are not supporting the Ayatollah or the governments. There have been protests and uprising. Iran has a lot to lose as well. They can unite the country by going to war with the United States if they think that President Trump isn't going to have a full-blown invasion. Look what's happening in Venezuela now, where President Trump and Secretary Mike Pompeo has basically suggested that we won't remove you forcefully if you agree to a transitional government. We'll ease on the sanctions on Venezuela. So they want a new vote or a transitional government, whatever the extent is. They think Maduro is there through fraud. They've been trying to remove him. Venezuela and Iran are very aligned with each other, and there are massive amounts of Hezbollah and Iranian sleeper cells in South America. Iran has always been, the fear about Iran has always been that they have sleeper cells in the United States, throughout South America. It's not going to just be a region, a war in just one region. It will be a worldwide effect that would have if we went on a full-blown war with Iran. So we want to keep our eyes on this, but remember, when we're in this situation where there's this plague and pandemic and we're in a Great Depression, just like what happened before World War II, when we're in a Great Depression and people need to get back to work, there's nothing better for them to do than to ramp up production for military use and to start a war so we can get people back to work. And this is one of the ways that they can do it. So be prepared for that. Now, I don't know if you saw my previous video. Please click the link below and get some of our free tools and our free kits. The stock market continues to crash. Expect to see that happen as we move forward from month to month in the near future, and do something. Make decisions now, okay? Because the decisions that you make today, right now, is going to have a huge impact on your immediate future for you, your family, and your wealth. And I hope everybody understands that, and I know you do. So click the link below, put in a little information, get our free tools, our free kits. We'll talk about gold and silver and other ways for you to position yourself financially to protect yourself for what's ahead.
This is Dabu7. A heads up to what's happening here with our farmers, and taking a look here at Florida specifically and seeing the repercussions here of what's happening to the farmers after the state is making moves here to counter everything going on with the spread of this COVID-19. Now, we've seen a run on stores in terms of food. So you would think that one of the last things that you would see happening here is food going to waste. We were seeing this in China en masse, and now here in this country, we are witnessing the same thing. They're stating that because all these businesses got shut down overnight, which apparently someone wasn't doing their job too well in thinking this whole thing out. They put all these other businesses on their tail end because unlike sugar and salt and things that have a time frame on them, a lot of these things are perishable goods. When it comes to the eggs, the tomatoes, all these goods that have to be packaged and sent out in a timely fashion, they can't just sit there. They become wasted. And these farmers are saying that they have to make the choice to either pay all the workers to come out and to work these fields, which ends up being 2 to 3 times as much money as it would be to just raise the crops, destroy the crops, take the loss there in that aspect, and hope that next year that they can recover. In this instance, though, a ton of food and product is being wasted. And I want people to realize that this is happening across the board more than what people know. So a lot of food getting wasted here. They're donating as much as possible, but a lot of these places are inundated with farmers donating to them. And they have a backup of all these other goods. So this is the latest. Make sure to follow me over here on DLive where I break this down further. Starting next week, I look to have a new regiment Monday, Wednesday.
There is outrage in the People's Republic of Virginia, as if the January showdown with "we're going to take your guns" at checkpoints was not enough for the communist dictator, Governor Northam. Now he's got his lackeys, his socialist, communist Gestapo police force that would prevent citizens from defending themselves. They're now carrying out his mandates. We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about what needs to be done about this here on The Common Sense Show. My name is Dave Hodges. You're watching The Common Sense Show, and we are the show that is freeing America one enslaved mind at a time. We're brought to you by Noble Gold, one of the few places that you still can get your gold if you act now. People are hoarding, banks are hoarding, nations are hoarding. You need to get into what will last through this crisis when I'll tell you, our currency is going to hyperinflate. There's absolutely no question in my mind that's going to happen. Stock market's in free fall. We're spending money worse than a drunken sailor. We're spending money worse than 1 million drunken sailors. Give them a call and see if they can't help you with asset reallocation to buffer the crash. 877-646-5347. That's 877-646-5347. Tell them Dave Hodges of The Common Sense Show sent you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we had a movement in Virginia where they were going to go to West Virginia. Remember, they were going to vote themselves out of the state? Well, they need to do that. They need to do it now. They need to leave Northam alone with his own little communist minions the police force of Arlington, Virginia. You people who say you're there to protect the public good, all you're doing is protecting the criminals. Let's lay out what happened. A man named Hamza Abusharaya was in the back of his store at 4 a.m. 3 masked robbers come in. He shoots at them, outnumbered, and they run. One person was hit, ended up being a minor. Hey, look, you're going to do the crime, you got to do the time and take the punishment. 2 of the people got away. The police aren't concerned about them. They're charging this man, this shop owner, with a crime involving a firearm that could put him in prison for 20 years. So at a time when Virginia is letting its criminals out of prison, they're taking people who would stand their ground inside their own property in prison. What is wrong with this picture? You people in Virginia, why did you stop your movement to leave your state, county by county? Why? Because Northam backed down one time? Well, this is their answer now. You do not have the right to self-defense in your own home, in your own business. People can come in, put a gun to your head, and you better head and do a thing because you're the one that's going to go to prison if you survive. The People's Republic of Virginia has spoken. Now, are the common, average, everyday good Americans in Virginia going to speak? Speak with your feet. Leave your state like you had planned to do when Governor Northam was threatening to take your guns. So he hasn't now taken your guns. What he's doing is keeping you from legitimate self-defense. Welcome to the UK. That's it for the Common Sense Show. Please share this far and wide, and we will see you back here next time. Don't forget to subscribe.
Hello everyone, and today is Wednesday, April 1st, 2020, and I'm here to give another ongoing prophecy. We're in that frame and things like this are happening right now. This was given to me back way back in 2015. I'm going to give it quickly and then I'm going to read the scripture. It is called Stand Your Positions and Get Ready. Stand your positions and get ready. Last night the Holy Spirit came over me so strongly and so fast it was like a whirlwind. He showed me some coming events and it was not far off in the distant future. I was transported by the Spirit into a foreign land where the battles had already begun. Then I heard the battle hymn of the Republic, but as I listened, it became very foreign to me. Then I was twirling around and I saw the word danger, foreign troops. Then I saw the word magistrate, but I was not shown any particular name. Then I saw explosive shots, foreign lands and seas all passed before my eyes in a blur of activity. Then I saw President Obama and Russian President Vladimir Putin together in a house that appeared to be in a foreign land. They shook hands, but then it looked like President Obama collapsed. But I was not sure because just as I thought he fell, I was back in the United States. Then I heard clink, clink. It sounded like money. Chaos was everywhere. Our nation was a battleground of blood, sweat, and tears. Then I heard, the King is coming. Here is that interpretation for this vision. First, let me say I am always thankful when we are warned of things to come. It is not always what we would wish to be given, but nevertheless I have warned, so all that read this can take it to the Holy Spirit for confirmation, and their blood will not be on my hands when it is time to stand before Almighty God. When I saw this foreign land, I was not shown specifically where I was, but I know I saw foreign troops fighting in a war with explosions both on land and sea. The battle hymn of the Republic started sounding foreign to me because our nation was no longer a republic, but only a shadow of what we once were. Instead of seeing a republic, I saw danger, foreign troops, as if our republic was occupied by foreign troops. Then I saw the word magistrate, as if our system of government was replaced by a single person. Then I saw Obama and Putin together, which tells me they are not in opposition to each other as they are portrayed to be, but are planning secret things together. It appeared they were finishing up some type of business. When I saw President Obama starting to collapse, I did not see him fall down all the way because I was instantly back in the United States. The clinking sound that I heard sounded exactly like change or money. What came into my spirit was, because we have frivolously thrown our money around, we will soon see our money having no value. We should be storing up our treasures in heaven and not so concerned about storing up treasures here on earth. I saw chaos everywhere in our nation. All at the same time, we were having problems caused by our open borders. We were being drawn into war. We were suffering great losses in our finances, and we were witnessing the shedding of innocent blood in our land. These things all came one right after another with no relief. They continued to escalate until they were full blown. When I saw our nation, it was a battleground of blood, sweat, and tears. I saw that everything we had worked hard for was blown away in one instant. Finally, I heard the King is coming. I believe the events I saw in this vision are ushering us into the time when the Lord will return for his people. And if anyone has any other thoughts, please feel free to share. As always, prepare and keep short accounts with God, as it is not God's desire for anyone to perish, nor to be asleep in this hour. It is always God's intention to bring souls into the kingdom. That is the desire of his heart. However, it is a choice. Think very hard on this, because as I came away from this, I knew that time is very, very short. And as we all know, this is now 2020, and all of these things are now coming to pass. To summarize, the Lord came to me in the spirit this morning, and my spirit was very, very heavy, and he was very angry, and he has a right to be. So I want to give you two scriptures, and then I'm going to. I just have something that I need to make you aware of. Let me see here. Thank you, Lord. Wow. He said, Luke 12, verse 49, I have come to send fire on the earth, and what will I, if it be already kindled? The fire that is being talked about is his fire of judgment. Hence, China. And I know right after he spoke with me this morning, then there was an email sent to me about the fire, or a fire in China. Okay, and the very other one is Deuteronomy 4, verse 24. For the Lord thy God is a consuming fire, and even a jealous God. This is what the Lord spoke to me this morning, very briefly. God is jealous. He does not share his glory or anything with anyone. And he said, we are not to be concerned with what is going on around us. He said, don't get so involved in everything, because many are looking more to what's going on, what the government's doing, who's telling the truth, who's not, the next evil thing. And God said, I am God. I created the heavens and the earth. Nothing goes unnoticed by me. You need to put your eyes and seek me now while I can be found, instead of seeking the government and all the things that are going on. And many of you are claiming to be God's people. So you need to be seeking him. This is a time right now to get him very close. God said, I'm bringing my explosive power to the earth very soon. Something is going to change. Something is going to change with all the stuff that's going on. There's something going to change. There's something going on in the spiritual realm. Keep your eyes on Yahushua HaMashiach and press in. Something is going on. And he said, I have always had a remnant. We're going to rise up and do what God has told us to do. God is going to make this way, whether we hear or see all the negative, all the shaking, the government, the staying home, all this stuff. Something God is going to do. And I am excited in the fact that whatever God is going to do, it is not going to be anything that people have ever seen before in their life. Just like when I mentioned in one of my videos, I just did a brief. I didn't go on about it. I said God was going to do something to shock the world. It's going to shock the world. And he did, by allowing and having this coronavirus to bring people to him, to show them to rely on him, to bring them closer, to merge away from all the things of the world, all these things, and finally get into place with him, to repent. I just can't say anything more. I just know what God has told me, and I am to be quiet now. Which brings me, I am very passionate. He wants us to be passionate about him, to have a zeal for him, to run after him. Because we love him, and he loves us so much. He has not left us or forsaken us, but we must run after him. We must seek him. We must knock, seek, and ask. Not altogether necessarily, one-on-one, intimate relationship with him. It is imperative right now. Don't get caught up in all the videos and all the things that are going on. Don't do it. That is what God's message is. And these are final warnings that I'm giving from years past, from just a few years ago to I have some quite way back. And I'm giving as the Father loans. But now, this is it right now. God has asked me to move away from YouTubes and even some emails while I regroup with him. He said, I want you silent. I have instructions, and I want to get ready for your repositioning. So, with that being said, I will not be doing some videos for a while. It may be just a few days. It may just be a few days. I'm not going to be able to answer comments. Emails will be limited. Texting will be limited. God is doing something here. And we have to get our instructions, and we have to get our words, and we have to line up with him. So, with that being said, I love you all. I hope to be back soon. He did not say that I would be off indefinitely, but I think for a few days it could be. But he's got instructions for us, and he's showing me further. There was a very heavy urgency in my spirit, and the only way to be able to know what God is saying is to spend the time with him. And so I'm doing it per his instruction. God bless you. I know that we will continue to pray on all prayer requests. And I just Genuinely, we love you all. And we just want you to know how grateful we are to have you as our family. We know now things are going to move. God is doing something. God is doing something that apparently has not been seen or done before. And I'm looking forward to it. And at the same time, instructions are being given for us to be repositioned and to get ready for some things. So all in all, God bless all of you. Be safe. Be wise. Seek the Lord. Just seek Him. Seek Him. Seek Him. And listen to Him. Not just everybody on social media, but listen to Him. God bless you. Shalom.
October 5. God's law appears in the heavens. The heavens shall declare His righteousness, for God is judge Himself. Psalm 50, verse 6. The clouds sweep back and the starry heavens are seen, unspeakably glorious in contrast with the black and angry firmament on either side. The glory of the celestial city streams from the gates ajar. In the temple will be seen the Ark of the Testament, in which were placed the two tables of stone on which are written God's law. These tables of stone will be brought forth from their hiding place, and on them will be seen the 10 Commandments engraved by the finger of God. These tables of stone now lying in the Ark of the Testament will be a convincing testimony to the truth and binding claims of God's law. Sacrilegious minds and hearts have thought they were mighty enough to change the times and laws of Jehovah, but safe in the archives of heaven, in the Ark of God, are the original commandments, written upon 2 tables of stone. No potentate of earth has power to draw forth those tables from their sacred hiding place beneath the mercy seat. There appears against the sky a hand holding 2 tables of stone folded together. Says the prophet, the heavens shall declare His righteousness, for God is judge Himself. Psalm 50, verse 6. That holy law, God's righteousness, that amid thunder and flame was proclaimed from Sinai as the guide of life, is now revealed to men as the rule of judgment. The hand opens the tables, and there are seen the precepts of the Decalogue traced as with a pen of fire. The words are so plain that all can read them. Memory is aroused, the darkness of superstition and heresy is swept from every mind, and God's 10 words, brief, comprehensive, and authoritative, are presented to the view of all the inhabitants of the earth. It is impossible to describe the horror and despair of those who have trampled upon God's holy requirements. The enemies of God's law, from the minister down to the least among them, have a new conception of truth and duty. Too late they see that the Sabbath of the 4th commandment is the seal of the living God.
Okay, people, I'm going to let you guys go. I really thank you for watching. I hope you receive some information that you can get more prepared. So I just come to you guys. I thank you for all the offerings to help the homeless, widows, and those in need of mission fields. May Yahuwah richly bless each and every one of you. Send offerings to marner.campbell@gmail.com, at PayPal or mail in your donations to Fill My Cup Ministries, Post Office Box 414, Canyon City, Colorado 81215. We are getting ready to prepare for the Passover and the Unleavened Bread Day. So, as I said, I will only be back when there's something urgent come up in the news or something like that. But in the meantime, I hope you guys seek the Father, seek His face. I really know the times we're living in. I see a lot of people still doing a lot of mediocre things, like I mean, my family, other people's family. I don't know, people. These are serious times, serious times. Father, be with all the people watching. Thank you so much for your love for us, your care for us, your blessings. We just know that we need to be knowing that we need to be praying for our nation right now. Praying for the nations right now, praying for America, praying for Israel, praying for Russia, China, all the nations, all the war is trying to develop in Iran, all the things going on before us, in front of us, Father. We ask for your mercy, your grace, your angels, your warrior angels, your watch angels, your protocol angels, your security angels to come forth and be with us at this time, preparing us, directing us. Oh, Father, we need your divine protection and direction. Absolutely, we need it right now more than ever. We just thank you for being the God that you are, God all by yourself. Yahushua HaMashiach, we love you. We thank you, Father. We ask that you supply all the people's needs according to your riches and glory, whether it's physical, mentally, spiritually. And we just look forward to your soon coming. We put a shield of protection around us. We ask that you cover us with your blood, putting blood on our doorposts of our homes, of our businesses, or wherever we are at today. Knowing that you are the only one can save us, the only one can help us. Hinduism, Buddhism, Catholicism, atheism, all this stuff going on, all our astrology, Scientology, witchcraft, none of these things can save us. Oh, Father, help us to know that you're the one and true, loving, high God who will come soon and very quickly. So help us to get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. Father, help us, my God. We can do nothing without you. So we ask for these blessings. We ask that you hear my prayers today in the name of Yeshua Messiah. Thank you so much, Father, for listening. Thank you, people, for listening. Have a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday night. I'll talk to you at another time. Prepare for Passover if you're going to be doing that. But I'm telling you, we need to prepare our hearts for what is coming on the earth. It's about our hearts being ready, our souls being ready for salvation, knowing that we are in the end at the end. So have a wonderful night. Love you guys so much. Shalom, shalom. I love you guys so much. Shalom, shalom. Hold on. I got to get this off. Okay, hold on. Shalom, shalom, guys. Hallelujah.